spiritual awakenings, each and every one of you will want to have. It's some part of your journey. If you haven't already wanted to have a spiritual awakening, you're probably trying to get there. You're doing everything that you possibly can to create and manifest this awakening to take place and manifest within your world. The problem is, what a lot of you don't realize is it's already happened. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue and a little bit of a tip how you can know if you have actually been through a spiritual awakening. And I don't want to fudge me words here. I'm not known for fudging me words. I'm going to be brutal and I'm going to be honest about it. Mankind have sold you this delusion. Mankind have sold you this. I mean, I was going to say a fairy tale, but it's not so much a fairy tale because a lot of you, I understand and appreciate a lot of you want this to be the case and you want this to be something magical. But the harsh reality of a spiritual awakening is each and every one of you, I can guarantee you now, right? If you are somebody who thinks of the spirit world, who thinks that there's possibly something else out there in the world, you think that there isn't just you on this planet in terms of energy, then you've had an awakening. Like, unfortunately, a lot of people believe a spiritual awakening to be this fairy tale where the clouds are going to part, then baby Jesus is going to ride a cloud down, come and shake your hand and give you a high five into the God's club, and that's it, you've been selected and you've been chosen. Oh, many different religions for that. I'll just like to use little baby Jesus. I don't know. Spirit or laughing. But you can kind of see where I'm going with that. Not that I'm mocking religion, because I'm not mocking religion, but a lot of you expect it to be so magical. You expect it to be like that because you have been conditioned by mankind. But if you are watching this video and you're thinking, I would love to connect to the spirit world, I would love to connect to energy, I would love to connect to Mother Earth, you've got many different terminologies for it. There isn't a right or wrong one. But the fact that I'm trying to point out here is if you are internally searching for something greater, then you, my friend, have already been through that spiritual awakening. And through the conditioning of mankind, you believe you aren't good enough yet. You believe that you've got to go through the dark soul of the solace. You've got to go through all of these. Listen, let mankind keep their stupid notions to themselves. You don't need any of that. The fact of the matter is, let's just break it down for each and every one of you, right? When you go through your divine spiritual path and you come over many different revelations along the way, which is going to cultivate you into being a person. However, that person that you have become is a product of your environment. You have what is called the auric field, which encompasses the human form. It's all around each and every one of you. Scientific equipment can prove of it. It's not just my crazy words. Fun fact, I don't read mankind's literature. Never will. Never have to. Because I get my information direct from spirit, and that's what I am telling you. That's why you find a lot of the things that I say are very controversial. And that's not because I deliberately go against the grain. It's because I'm trying to put this right. I'm trying to help each and every one of you to understand your own worth. By understanding your own worth, we can help you to be able to connect to spirit, connect to yourself more importantly. But what you've got to realize is the entirety of a life, you are conditioned, you are suppressed, you are told what is right and what is wrong. And in some cases, that is a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But what you've got to realize is this little bubble that encompasses your human form is what people refer to as an awakening. The second that little bubble around you bursts, and I don't mean in a physical sense, you're always going to have an auric field, so don't get that confusing. But in the analogy I'm trying to explain to you is, if you think of a bubble all around you, that is you just going through your everyday life. You're not internally searching. You're just going through the motions. You're just living, or should I say existing in some cases. Once that bubble has been destroyed, And consciously and subconsciously, you are looking for deeper answers. You are looking for answers to questions that you've never even thought of before. You've been through an awakening. Problem is, we have to be comfortable with that. We have to be comfortable knowing that. Because there's so many people that will leech onto this lie, this notion that it has to be special. It has to be like this. And that's what makes it really difficult for the everyday person to be able to have their awakenings. I'm not saying that some of you might have really crazy stories to tell. Honestly, I'm not saying that you don't have that. But what you've got to understand is from those crazy stories, a little bit of delusion comes into them and a little bit of an imagination. And to any of you who think, oh my God, I can't believe you're saying this, John. But it's the truth. It really is. You are the one who is materializing that into your world. The spirit world know that you want to see that. That doesn't mean to say that it's actually happened. It doesn't mean to say that it happened in the way that you imagined it. Imagined it being the key word there. A spiritual awakening is going to be everything that you want it to be. To those of you who are watching this video who are getting a little bit annoyed by the fact that I'm saying you're normal like every other human being, the problem that you've got to realize is with that is I'm not trying to take this away from you, your special moments. You keep those memories. But what I'm trying to say is to the everyday person who is wanting to know if they've been through a spiritual awakening and wanting to know whether they're worthy or capable of even doing such a thing, the majority of you have already been through it. But unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever way you want to look at it, you aren't arrogant to the fact that you are just a normal human being. For you, it doesn't need to be the way it has to be for some people. Some people need to ride that fluffy cloud. Some people need to meet the gods themselves. Some people are just down to earth, couldn't care less. They just want to get on with it. They start searching internally for the answers. To each and every one of you, right, I'm going to give you a couple of questions here. And these questions are going to really prove to each and every one of you that you have been through your awakening already. Do you believe in energy? Do you believe in the spirit world? Something that is completely out of your comprehension, something that is, and before anyone says, well, Jordan, that's just an interest, that's just intrigue. What do you think we are talking about here? It is that intrigue that has been instilled in your mind. The intrigue is what is there because of your awakening. It's not because it's an interest. A lot of you have probably just all of a sudden stumbled across it. You weren't interested in it, and all of a sudden you are. Some of you are born and you've already had a spiritual awakening. This is something that people don't tell you as well. Some people, when you go through your life journey from a very, very young age, you're very already attuned to Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Mother Earth, whatever you want to call it, angels, energy, blah, 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 blah. You're already in tune. I'm living proof of it. I can prove everything that I do. I can bring forward evidence of the afterlife any given second of any given moment, like each and every one of you can do. Don't think that, I think that spirit are telling us the reason why. Right, okay, so spirit are telling us the reason why mankind get it so wrong. You look at a spiritual awakening as an achievement of yourself. The problem is that's not how in a spiritual awakening, it's not like you've got to go from A, B, C, D, E. Your end result is going to be spiritual awakening. You don't work towards it. It's going to happen when the time is right. It doesn't matter how hard you try. It doesn't matter how many things you do. The thing is with a spiritual awakening, it's going to happen when you are consciously ready to start accepting. A lot of the time we speak of an antenna. And we'll speak openly about the human vessel being a conduit to energy and basically receiving and sending out signals as a mobile phone does to each and every one of you. I use this on all of my different videos. Mobile phone. Mobile phone's primary purpose is, that's right, it's to make phone calls and to receive so you can speak to people using radio waves. That's the same when we are talking about communicating with energy, whether that be through a spiritual awakening, whether that be through working with energy in terms of spirit, angelic realms, all of these different things. And what you've got to realize is you as the vessel will start to receive that information once you are consciously aware of it. It's like, for example, right, if I was to use this phone being you in this analogy, if I was using this phone is rendered useless if I don't put money on it to make outgoing calls. I can't ring anyone. Well, I could ring an emergency number, but that's besides the point. Spirit laughing. It isn't going to do what it's meant to do, is it? However, I put money on this phone. Guess what? It's going to work for me. It's going to do what I ask it to do. It's the same when it comes to your spiritual awakening. When the time is right, not when you say the time is right, not when you've worked towards an iron goal, when the time is right and the spirit world believe that you are ready to be awakened to the energy that is awaiting you, then the spirit world, the energy, will then give you the ability to be able to connect. Remember, the divine time. Therefore, each and every one of you, it doesn't matter how hard you try, it doesn't matter how many things you do, and that's why I thought it was really relevant with making this video, because there's a lot of you who put so much effort into a spiritual awakening. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, because you think as an end goal, the spiritual awakening is where you need to be. It's not even the beginning, my friend. And that's the sad thing about it. It's the wrong way around. You have to focus on yourself. The spiritual awakening will just happen. You as a person going through your life journey are what is important here. Not the awakening, not the energy that you can gain, not the insights that you can get, the downloads that you can get, not the angels, all of this. That's not important. What is important is getting you into a position where you are ready to start receiving freely. Then the spirit world, the energy, whatever you want to call it, will give you the ability, or you will go through the spiritual awakening. If you are somebody who has had inklings or thoughts, I wonder if energy's real. Is there a God? All of these things, all of these different questions are questions that would normally come out of the blue. You've never given it a second thought. This is when you know you've been through a spiritual awakening. This isn't your intrigue. This isn't because you are curious. Remember what I said earlier? Curiosity is one of the biggest driving factors that you have already had your spiritual awakening. And again, it's one of those where I know a lot of you aren't going to like me saying that. But I would rather be honest and not lead you down this, because listen, I could just follow suit. I mean, I would never do that. Never do that. But I could just say, oh yeah, you know, you'll meet a dragon and you'll meet Rainbow Dave and you'll meet a talking fish and you'll meet all of these different things. And you'll be like, wow, I can't wait for that to happen to me. But the reality of it is each and every one of you shouldn't be aiming for that. Each and every one of you should be getting comfortable within your own worlds. You should be comfortable within you as a person. When you work on the person that you are and you iron out all of your flaws, and before any of you say, I haven't got any flaws, Jordan, I'm perfect. Listen, that's your ego speaking. That there, ego, is one of the biggest killers for anyone who wants to have a spiritual awakening, because that's where you are holding yourself back. Spirit world can't do anything with that. If you are somebody who is like, oh, well, you know, no, the spirit world can't. Listen, they can't. You have the right to work free will in this world. You have the ability to make choices. Good choices, bad choices. You have the opportunity to make something of yourself in this world. What the spirit world can't do, and what the spirit world won't do, is live your life for you. But yeah, I hope you can see from that video. I know it's not going to be everyone's liking. I know there's going to be a lot of you who might be a little bit offended by the fact that I've said most of you have already been through it. But if you stop wasting time chasing that dream and start focusing on the now, we can help you to become the best version of yourself. We can help you to get over any milestone that is coming your way. But as long as we hold and grip to the gnarling seeds of what mankind have spouted out onto this earth plane and have saturated each and every one of your minds and polluted the notions and ideologies with these idiocies of it being a magical experience in the ground, listen, stop it. Because it's never going to be good for you. It's never going to help you. It's never going to help you to achieve your greatest potential. Because all that's there to do, it's somebody's delusion. And a lot of people could say to me, well, Jordan, actually, you're the one with delusion. You speak to dead people. Yes, but what you also are failing to acknowledge is when I speak to dead people, I bring forward evidence of it. I bring forward evidence of loved ones, of people who I've never ever met before. I can do readings for people all around the world. Fun fact, I do. So this isn't anything new. There's thousands of people who can tell you my abilities. So whilst, yes, I may look a little bit crazy and a little bit dooloo, there's a reason why I do things in the way that I do. There's a reason why we say things in the way that we say them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have realised and understood from it. Spiritual awakenings. The signs are very simple. If you are actively thinking, intrigued, wanting to know more, asking deeper questions, you've been through a spiritual awakening. It's like a light switch moment for each and every one of you. I think a lot of the problem is coming back to the problems that mankind have. They see it as stepping stones. You've got to do this to get to this, then you've got to do this, then you've got to do that. And of course they think that, because that's what mankind educate in their literature, in their teachings, and all of these different things. So of course people are going to become susceptible to these notions. But the harsh, stern reality of it is, each and every one of you could be doing so much better. You could be doing so much more to aid you along your divine spiritual path than chasing the dream of an awakening. Because it's a conscious mind shift, very similar to spirit, and working with intent. However, this intent isn't something you can control. A spiritual awakening will happen when the time is right. When each and every one of you are ready to start actually feeling, sensing, acknowledging the energy around us, because there's a lot of energy. Sorry, energy is getting really strong as I'm speaking about it. And I think we're going to leave it there. I think that's a little enough for each and every one of you to digest. I hope you have found something interesting from it. I'm going to try and start putting 2 videos on a week. Obviously, you have seen we're doing the tarot videos now, so it's one of those things where I'm trying not to do too much, but I'm also trying to do enough. I haven't done many live streams, if I'm honest with you, and I'll tell you the reason why. I always go backwards and forwards with live streams. To me, live streams, whilst I love talking to each and every one of you, whilst it's great, there's always questions coming in, it just really doesn't feel like a good asset of me time, to be honest with you. Whilst there's going to be a lot of people who like to come on and chat, I get that. I really do get that. But for myself as a content creator, I've got to make content that people want to see. I've got to, and what really doesn't help matters. I'm very, very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, stubborn. Spirit have just shouted. So when something doesn't work my way, I don't do it again. And whilst that's not the right attitude to have, I get very frustrated, very quick, and I lose patience if something doesn't work. And when I say something doesn't work, it's not the chats, it's not I love speaking to everyone. It's my internet. my internet just isn't capable of doing what I need it to do. I'll go onto a live stream and then it starts cutting out and it starts doing this and that. And it really, I know it might not annoy you, but it really starts to wind me up. And it's like at that stage, I just go, that's it, no more. And it's done it that many times to us now. I'm just like at the point where I'm like, instead of doing a live, I'll make a video, because then I'm not getting frustrated. Then I know people are going to get the end result. People are then going to get. Yeah, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a breakdown on that anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, consider smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. Make sure that your notifications bell is on so you don't miss out on any future content. And until the next time, bye-bye for now.